All right, everyone, if you can hear me, I think you can. Um, let's see. Nice to see people on the chat list who I got to connect with at the workshop. How nice. I see some familiar names, and so that's nice. Now that I've seen you in person, got to interact with you, that's really special. Um, really short class. I think one of the main um, I guess goals that we want people when they graduate from this college is to be able to pronounce things because you represent Ayurveda and you represent it as it originally existed in India, not some sort of transmutation or transformation of it. Um, so I think it's important to learn pronunciation and try to do the best you can, realizing that some of you who don't speak Indian languages are not going to be able to move your tongues in certain ways, and that's okay. Because if I were to take a Chinese medicine course, I don't think I could pronounce half of those words, but I would try my best. So when you graduate from this college, you have authentic teachers like Atul ji and Monica ji. So I don't want anyone to say chakra with this sh sound, or there's some other pet peeves of mine. Bare minimum, just don't graduate saying chakra. That's all I ask. So let's go through some of these vocab words. We can go through like A through M because we want to keep things short. So if we finish by 8:40, then everyone can move on with their day, and then we can finish the list at another time, or we can skip around. But let's. I want you to be able to pronounce things looking at the English transliteration and the diacritical marks. So I'll help you with that. So the first word, if you can see, is abhighataj. You can see there's an H following the B, so it makes the B aspirated. So abhi, you hear the extra puff of air behind the B, so abhi. And the same thing with the GH sound. It's an aspirated G, so instead of G, it's G. So abhi ghataj. If you see a horizontal line above the A, that makes an ah sound. And in Sanskrit, every single consonant has an sound built in. So you'll see abhighataj. So that terminal A is pronounced not ah. So that's why in India, you'll never hear anyone say yoga or Ayurveda, because that last ah is just a schwa sound, or is just an sound. It's very gentle. So yoga, Ayurveda. Similarly, abhighataja. This is disease born of injury. So abhi is a prefix. It can mean many things. It can mean to, towards. It can be for, against, on, upon, over, above, across, great, excessive. So abhi, and that's kind of beyond the scope of this course. Ghata is injury, and ja means born of. J-A. So that ja sound we hear in generation and regenerate. So that ja sound means to be born, right? Genetics, ja. So it's cognate with that. So abhighata ja means disease due to injury. So if I break down every single word like this, we'll be here all day. So I'm going to kind of speed through. I want to help you pronounce things properly. I want you to hear it properly. And then if you have questions on how to pronounce things, I don't know if maybe we can, hey Cliff, if we can join, maybe have the speakers on. I guess Cliff left the meeting, and have you say things so that we can hear you. Abhyanga, just abhyanga. So there's this thing called sandhi, which means joining of two words. So a lot of times, two words, if one ends in a vowel, let's say, for example, the next one starts with a vowel, the vowels combine in different ways. So abhyanga becomes abhyanga. which is the application of oil upon the limbs or upon the body. Okay, there's adhyatmika, the type of suffering or disease due to impressions from a past life. Adhyatmika in the non-Ayurvedic sense can also mean pertaining to the soul or spiritual. So if someone says in colloquial language that they're adhyatmik, that means that they're spiritually oriented. They like discussing matters of spirituality and religion and metaphysics, adhyatmika. But in Ayurveda, it means disease due to impressions from past lives. Adi Bhautika. Now, a lot of times you'll see Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika with the first D in Adi not aspirated. I learned it with the aspiration. So, I've seen, this is kind of difficult, but I've seen it in print as Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. I believe the more correct way of writing it is Adhi. So ADHI Bhautika, ADHI Daivika, Adhi Bhautika, Adhi Daivika. The Adhi Bhautika is disease caused by variations in the 5 elements, the bhutas. Bhuta became Bhautika, again beyond the scope of the course, pertaining to the elements. And Adi Daivika is disease due to planetary influence. You have Agada Tantra, is toxicology. Gada means disease or drug or poison. Agada means to be free of disease, or it can also mean antidote to a poison, or it can be medicine. It can also mean chemistry, pharmacology, pharmaceutics. So Agada Tantra, therefore, is the science, Tantra, which means technique, doctrine, system. Agada Tantra is the science of toxicology. Let's see. There is Agantu. There shouldn't be an H there. It's not Gha, it's G. Agantu, which means that which comes to us from an external source. So it's an external, it's external. There's Agni, which we know, cognate with igneous and ignite. There's Ahankara. This comes from Aham, which means self, Ahankara. I'm tempted to talk about each sandhi, but I'm not going to do that. Ahankara is ego. Amashaya. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping around, aren't I? Then there's ahara, food or diet. Ahara. Notice that it's not ahara. It's ahara, ahara. Ahara sevana vidhi, how to eat, the proper way of eating, healthy eating habits. Ahara shakti. Now you see the diacritical mark over the S, that makes it sh. Ahara shakti, the power of digestion, the digestive power. Ahimsa, non-violence. That M with a dot over it is pronounced kind of, it's not quite an M, it's not a hard M like ahimsa, but it's a little bit soft. Ahimsa. Akasha, again you see that it means ether. It can also mean the sky in Sanskrit. Sh, you see the S with the diacritical mark over it. Akasha. Akruti means general shape or appearance. Alochaka, which is a subdosha of pitta, pertaining to the eyes. Lochana means eyes. Alochana. Alochaka. Ama, which is undigested food or toxins. Amashaya. Amashaya is the resting place, or you could say our abode of Ama, where Ama can begin. Amashaya, if not properly digested. Ambu vaha srotas. Ambu is water. Vaha means to carry. Vaha is like vehicle, V-E-H. Ambu is water. One of a million words for water. Ambu vaha srotas. Amla, which means sour. Then there's Amla Vipaka. Annaja. That two N's is a double N, so it's pronounced anna. You linger a little bit on that N. Annaja. Annaja. Born of food, word of, and by extension, born of unhealthy diet. Annaja. Anna vaha srotas. So anna is food, vaha is to carry, and srotas is channel. So that channel which carries food. Anna vaha srotas. Anumana pramana. That rhymes. Inference as a means of knowledge. We talked about this at the workshop. So those of you who couldn't come, we missed you. Anumana pramana. It was a lot of fun. We had so much fun. And we ate really well too. Anumana pramana. Let's see, where are we? Anupashaya, which means anything or any circumstance that aggravates a malady, any aggravating circumstance, any in this dictionary, in this lexicon here, it says a differential diagnosis. So any one of many causes of or one of many circumstances that would cause different disease. Apa is another word for water. There's apa, there's jala, there's ambu, there's nira. There's so many words for water. Apana, subtype of vata. Aparigraha, non-attachment. Apatya. Now, th is interesting because it's in a lot of different combinations, and there are many T sounds in Sanskrit. One is a dental. There are two dental T's. One is th, and one is an aspirated dental sound, which is th. And then there's a retroflex T, which is th, and a retroflexed aspirated th sound, which is t. So in English, when you write th, and t, there's a lot of confusion. And on top of that, if the author who is transliterating is from the north of India, he or she is gonna write it differently than someone who is from the south of India. It's really difficult to explain. So I don't know if I want to take up the whole class explaining it. Maybe I won't. But in this case, it's apatya, unhealthy food habits. Aptopadesha pramana, artha, which is one of the four goals of life, right? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And here we go, artava. In this case, maybe perhaps the author of this lexicon was from South India, but that H should not be there. So it should be artava, not artava. That it's not an aspiration, it's artava. A-R-T-A-V-A, artava, which is female reproductive tissue. Artavaha, artava, vaha, srotas, pathway or channel of the female reproductive system. Artava. And that A should have a line across the top, the first A. Artava. Then there's asadhya. When you have generally as a prefix, means opposite, just like in English, right? Apathetic, or there's so many words with A as the prefix, which means the opposite. So in this case, we have sadhya, which is curable, and asadhya, which is incurable. There's asana. So no one should leave this college saying asana. It's asana. Shavasana, never. Shavasana, asana. That last is just a quick asana. It means to sit down, a seated posture. Asatmya indriya artha. I think Monica G, this is okay, kind of going through each word so everyone hears it. Let's see. Asatmya Indriya Artha. Sanyoga. Let's skip that one. That's a difficult one for you to pronounce. Ashtavidha Pariksha. So 8-fold examination. Ashtavidha Pariksha. Ashtanga Hridayam. It's one of the oldest texts, third oldest texts on Ayurveda, written by Vagbhat Maharishi. So that's a big one to remember. Ashtanga Hridayam. Ashta, it means 8. Anga, which means limbed. Ashtanga Hridayam. All right, let's go to the next page. Ashtanga Sangraha. Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga of Ayurveda. Ashtasara Purusha. Asteya. Asti Dhatu. So this is an aspirated dental T. Asti. Can you hear the T? Asti Dhatu. Dh. It's not easy. I realize it's not easy for someone who does it. With practice, you can say it. With practice, anyone can say it. But that D is a soft dental D, the, with your tongue behind the teeth, with a puff of air. Dhatu. Asthi Sara Purusha. Now you see the S with a dot under it. We saw an S with a line above, sort of like a accent aigu kind of line over it, a horizontal line at 45 degrees, which meant sh. This is sh. So if the S has a dot under it, then it's also an SH sound, sh. But if you want to be a stickler from pronunciation, it is a retroflexed sound, meaning the SH is pronounced in the back of the mouth with the tongue curled back against the palate. So Purusha, almost a whistle. Purusha, Purusha, Astisara Purusha. But for practical purposes, you can say Purusha and no one's going to ding you. Asthivaha Srotas, Ati Pravritti, double T, Pravritti. There's a little bit of a lingering on the T. Atma, Atmaja. Atmaja means disease caused by abnormal effects on the soul. Ja means created by or born of. Aushadhaja. So if you didn't know what that meant, you could look it up. You could break the word down and look at the components. Aushadha. Aushadha means medication, and ja means created by. So if this is a disease due to the side effects of medication, aushadhaja. Avalambaka, a type of kapha, subtype. Avalambaka kapha. Now, incidentally, to be absolutely, really super correct, there's no F sound in Sanskrit. It's really a PH, P, kapha. But no one says kapha. We all end up saying kapha. We let that slide. So it's really, to be technical, kapha. Avalambaka kapha. Kapha. Avara means inferior. So vara means best or superior or excellent, and avara means inferior. Okay, then there's ayuhu, which is life. Ayurveda. Now, can I just talk about Ayurveda for just a second? We cannot leave this college calling it Ayurveda, like, are you sleeping? Are you there? Are you? It's not are you. It's ayur. Please, 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 please. I hear it time and time and time and again. Ayurveda. No. If you're going to practice it, at least if there's 2 words you need to pronounce properly, it's chakra and Ayurveda. Not are you. It's not Ayurveda. It's Ayurveda. Please, please, please. Please practice that. If you're guilty of saying Ayurveda, like, are you going there? Are you going to the party? Are you? No. Ayurveda. Okay, I think I've driven that enough. Bala, which means strength. Bala, so you see how it's different. If you forget that line across the top, it means a different thing. Bala is strength and bala is a child or a baby. So bala chikitsa. Bheda, bheshaja. Again, this is a BH, so it's an aspirated B. Bhrajak, bhuta vidya. Bhuta means entity or spirit or ghost, or it can even mean a living being, bhuta. Any living being is a bhuta or a jiva. So bhuta vidya is Ayurvedic psychology. It's a deeper discussion than just that, but we can just, for now, say it's Ayurvedic psychology. Bodhaka. Is that right? Bodhaka, yeah. Then there's Brahma Muhurta. Some people pronounce it Brahma Muhurta. I've seen both in the dictionaries. Before this class, I was sort of looking that up, going, okay, I hear half of the people in my family saying Brahma and half saying Brahma, and I looked it up in several Sanskrit dictionaries, and I've seen both. So Brahma Muhurta, Brahma Muhurta. Probably the best person to know this would be Atulji, since he's the Jyotish master. So I will ask him. Brahma Muhurta. It's the time to wake up 4 to 6 a.m. in the morning, generally around 3 a.m. Brahmacharya, so celibacy. Brahat Trayi, Brahat means the big three. Trayi means three. So these are the big three texts. Brumhana, this is a funny one to pronounce. I pronounce it in a typical Maharashtrian accent. So I call it Brumhana. Nourishing therapies, that's a really hard one. If you don't get that one, no one's going to blame you. Buddhi is intellect. Chala means moving or unstable. Chala means to walk, or chara also, C-A-R-A. Chara means to walk too. Chara and chala both mean to move. So chala is moving or unstable. Charaka Samhita is a text we know of. Chaturvimshati tattvas. Chatur is 4, Vimshati means 20, so 24 tattvas, 24 components of evolution, existence, Chatur Vimshati. Vimshati is 20. Chaya is in Sanskrit means a pile or a heap or a collection. So Chaya is an increase of the dosha. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip through, let's see. Danta dhavana is to brush your teeth. Darshana is to observe, or it could also mean to take in the sight of a deity, darshana, in the broad sense. But in Ayurveda, it means to physically inspect, just to look at the patient when they walk through the door. What do you see? When you look at their face, what do you see? Without touching them, without any palpation, is darshana. Dashavidha Pariksha is a 10-fold examination, which we talked about at the workshop. Deha is body. Dharana is concentration. Now this N should have a dot under it. Dharana. Dharana. It's a retroflexed N. Said at the back of the mouth. Dharana, concentration. Dharma. A lot of people mispronounce it as Dharma. I can't blame them, it's difficult, but dharma. If you hear it pronounced correctly and if you try to approximate it, that's better than saying it flat out wrong. Dhatu. Dhatu kshaya. Kshaya means to a reduction, so decrease dhatu. Dhatu vriddhi. Vriddhi means increased or aggravated. Vriddhi. Dik is direction. Dinacharya is daily regimen. Deepana, so there are a lot of deepana therapies. These increase the agni, the digestive fire. Dirgha breath, so it says here 3-part breath. Dirgha means lengthened. Dirgha. Dirghayu, you know the word ayu. Ayu means life. So if I were to give you a blessing of Dirghayu, it means live long. I think Spock spoke Sanskrit. Live long and prosper. Dirgha. Dirghayu. Dirgha breath. Okay, dosha. Again, this is, if I were to take that dot away, it would be DOSA, and you would think it's that crepe that you can order at a South Indian restaurant, dosa, but it is dosha with the retroflexed S, dosha. These are the humors, right? Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Dosha hetu, dosha kshaya, dosha upakrama, dosha vruddhi. Drava, which is a liquid. Druk pariksha, assessment of the eyes. We did that at the retreat. Dukha, dukkha, which is sadness or misery. Dushya. Gandusha. Gandusha. Again, let's look at this one. N is retroflex, so it's erna, garn, and that is because it's followed by another retroflex letter, da. If you curl your tongue back, da, and say your D against the hard palate, instead of how we say D in English with our tongue kind of forward. If you move the tongue back, da, and try to say a D, that's da. It maybe you can approximate it by like an American, if you let's say the word party, right? You most people don't say party, they say party, because the tongue is already rolled back. So instead of moving the tongue all the way forward and saying party, we generally tend to keep it back there and make our D back there real quick, party, even though it's a T, party. So that T from party is kind of like the retroflex D in Sanskrit, da, right? The da in Sanskrit is a lot more harsh. So da and u, the u has a long line over it, so it's pronounced dirgha, u, gandu. S has a line dot under it, so it's retroflexed S, and the A at the end is not a long A, it's just a quick sound, so it's gandusha. Okay, Graha Chikitsa, I'm looking at the time, it's we have a few more minutes. Guru is heavy. Hima means snow. I would say it means snow more than just cold. Himalaya, the abode of snow, right? The Himalaya mountains, we pronounce it Himalaya. Himalaya Parvata. Indriyas are senses. Ishvara Pranidhana, that N should have a dot under it, Pranidhana, because it's a retroflexed N, Ishvara Pranidhana. Jala, which is another word for water. Jara Chikitsa. So rejuvenation therapy. Jara means old, elderly, Jara Chikitsa. So it's a therapy that rejuvenates. Jatharagni, Jathara. So this is if you have a T with a dot under it followed by an H, it becomes ta. So again, when Atulji teaches Sanskrit, he'll go over the Sanskrit letters with you. But this is Jathara, Jatharagni. Jivha is tongue. Jivha pariksha, Jnanendriya. Jnanendriya. Okay, Jnanendriya. I think it's missing. Why does that look funny? It should have an A. Jnanendriya. Driya. Jnanendriya. There are a lot of typos in Nama's lexicon here. I might call them. Jnanendriya. Kala. Time, season. Kale kapot nyaya. This T shouldn't have a dot under it because it's not retroflex. It's not kapota, it's kapota. Kapota means pigeon or dove. Kale kapota nyaya. Kapala bhati. Kapala is the forehead or the skull or the cranium. Bhati, that which causes abha or luminescence or luster to emanate from the head. So that's the skull shining breath. We do pranayam. Kapala bhati is one of them, is one of the mukhya pranayams, one of the main pranayams. Karmaja, that which is born of karma. So a disease that is due to your actions, maybe from a past life or this life. Karmaja. This should be Karmendriya, K-A-R-M-E. Karma Indriya becomes Karmendriya. Kashaya. Kashaya is a astringent taste. Kathina. Kathina, retroflex. Aspirated tea, Kathina. Katu, retroflex tea. Katu is pungent. Katu vibhaka, that tea should have a dot under it. Kavala is mouth gargling, putting something in your mouth. Kaya, that should also have it's a long A, kaya. It needs a horizontal line over the last A. Kaya chikitsa. Kedar kulya nyaya. Kara. Kara is rough or gritty. It's almost onomatopoetic. And so I think we are going to wrap up here and stop at K. We were going to go to the M's, but I talked too much, I know, clearly. So we'll pick up next week.
Do you want to finish it next week? I'm not sure if you have a class next week, but you could do it either next week or the week after.
Yeah, I'll look at my calendar and I'll email you. Okay. But was this okay, Monica G, kind of going through each word?
I thought that was amazing. What do you guys think?